Welcome back to another Nova Circuit TCG playtest video. This deck matchup, the two decks that we're displaying are Drampa Garb versus Volcanion. Two very popular decks in standard format right now, so we thought we'd playtest them together. I'm on the right, Jason McKinney. I'm on the right, running Volcanion, and another Nova Circuit member named Jeff Hurtgen. He is running the Drampa Garb deck. Today, I'm not doing a solo commentary. I'm actually joined by another Nova Circuit member, Austen Masterson.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So he'll help me, commentate this video. Austin was here that day, and he also is familiar with the Drampa Garb deck. So, not like me, I know of it. I know the basis of it, but I don't ever run the deck. I'm very stuck with Volcanion right now. So. But yeah, this matchup's very interesting. I think Volcanion's still very, very good and very hot in the format. So
it's a dad joke, right?
Yeah,
big dad joke.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so this is my old Volcanion list. I don't. I'll have to pick it up. I can't remember what it was. It's definitely changed now. But I believe this one I ran Brooklet Hills. My new one doesn't run any stadiums, but this one runs Brooklet Hills. The Brooklet Hill helps me get my Volcanion EX, also get my Staryu, because this one runs a Starmie in it for that energy retrieval from the discard pile. So why don't you go ahead and explain like Jeff's Drampa Garb deck a little bit.
Okay, so the basis of Jeff's deck is to use Drampa as his main attacker, and then Trash Lance Garbodor to come back and pick up scrap knockouts late in the game once items are in the discard. He does not play Espeon GX or a 1/1 line of any sort of Espeon or anything like that. The main reason for that was when this was reported, that deck variant wasn't very popular yet, so he's using pretty much the same strategy as that deck except without the Espeon. So he uses Potown to put damage down for evolutions, which isn't very helpful in this matchup just because it's big basics in Volcanion. Jeff's deck is also, how you should say, unique, because Jeff does not like taking advice from anybody, so his decks are always very, very unique and very different, and they win. So Jeff is definitely a very good player.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing that he doesn't take advice, because he does win with his decks that he builds. So
yeah, like you'll see probably in Thursday's video, he had a matchup against me, and he definitely had decisive victory in that based on his deck decisions.
Yeah, so I was just announced this on Facebook. I might as well announce it now. If you do see this video, we're going to try to have a video every Tuesday and Thursday. The two videos this week will be this one, which is the Volcanion Drampa Garb, and then Thursday we're going to do Galissapod versus Drampa Garb. Galissapod is also a very popular deck right now in the standard format. Not as popular as like Volcanion or Garbodor, but it is a really good deck right now. We definitely had an interesting matchup. I think, spoiler, but if Austin didn't make as many mistakes as he did, he would have probably had that match. But spoiler. But anyways, back to Volcanion and Drampa Garb. So Volcanion, everybody knows, pretty basic. Most Volcanion decks are run the same. Throw fire Pokemon in there. Usually, now that Ho-Oh's around, Ho-Oh's put in there. Turtonator's a great card for this deck, I think. It definitely pushes this deck to that tier 1 level. And then, of course, you got your Volcanion EX and your baby Volcanions. Now, on this deck list, I ran, I believe, only 2 baby Volcanions. Just 2 baby Volcanions, a 2 Ho-Oh line, and 2 Turtonators, and then 3 Volcanion EX. Deck's pretty simple. Get Volcanion EXs out on your bench, steam up. Can pretty much one-shot almost anything in the format right now. And the thing is Volcanion is a very, very consistent deck, especially if you build it right. It's, and I always look for consistency in my decks when I build them, and that's why I play Volcanion now. It's just not a lot of times do I get really bad hands or put myself in a bad situation. Even when I start with Volcanion EX or Tapu Lele or something, which in most games, back then seemed really bad. You're like, oh no, I really do find myself in a good situation to pull me out of, like, I can retreat them. There's so many ways now to retreat. So, I'm very happy with Volcanion list right now. And I've never really played against Drampa Garb with the deck list, so this is great practice for me because I know Drampa Garb is really popular right now. I know it was very popular at the most recent regionals. So, yeah.
Basically, the BDIFs of the format right now are Drampa Garb variants. Ones with Espeon, ones without Espeon, some with Necrozma, some with Tapu Koko. Those variants are pretty much BDIF along with Garbodor GX. Garbodor GX is a very big powerhouse that has yet to be trumped by anything, even Metagross, which hits it for weakness. Garbodor can still come out winning in that situation. So, like, these two decks are very solid choices. If you get some reps in with them before a regional, it's a definitely big deck that will help carry you through that tournament. It is a high skill cap. So, like, when you play this deck, you can't just pick it up and be like, oh, I know what to do. I'm going to play it like this. You kind of need to get that practice in. So this deck is not just like your standard deck you can just pick up and play. Maybe like some of the earlier decks like a couple years ago, Seismitoad, you just pick up, play, and go. This deck is not like that. We do see Tapu Koko come down on Jeff's bench, which is pretty standard in this list. Pretty much that's for your free retreat, your spread damage. Spread damage helps out a lot because Drampa only hits for 180, and sometimes it doesn't even hit for that because if you don't have damage on your bench, it's not going to work. Which is why Potown has become so popular, is because you evolve into these Garbodors, you're taking 3 damage, you're powering up Drampa to hit for its full max. It hits for 180 with a band, 150 without a band.
Yeah.
So we see McKinney bump off that Potown because that's obviously going to help Jeff. So we want to see a Bricklet Hill in McKinney's favor so that he can get out his water type Staryu so he can start powering up that Space Beacon. And then Jeff is going to have to counter that stadium with another Potown next turn if he wants to have a chance of powering up Drampa, which we have not seen in this match so far.
Yeah, I think right here I decided Volcanion first because I think in this matchup, I believe my Starmie, I realized my Starmie was prized or something.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't want to set it up. I couldn't remember. Yeah, but usually you want to get the Starmie ready to go, especially because Volcanion, you are pun here, blazing through that energy quickly, just discarding it like wildfire.
If I had said drums, I would be hitting that symbol really hard.
Yeah, so you do discard a lot of energy in Volcanion list just because it's what the deck kind of is built for, especially when you use Baby Volcanion. Turtonator helps with its GX, its Nitro Tank GX attack. So, it's always, I think Staryu or Starmie, the Starmie lineup is just perfect for Volcanion. They're like a match made in heaven almost. But unfortunately, I believe, Staryu or Starmie in this matchup was prized, so I really couldn't set it up.
So, just a big tip for a lot of beginning players out there. When you see something like that, Bricklet Hill for a Volcanion, 9 times out of 10 you can infer from that the Staryu is priced or a piece of that puzzle is priced. So maybe the Starmie or the Staryu is priced. So just seeing Volcanion go down on the bench right off of Bricklet Hill, that would tell me that there is a piece missing in his deck. Or assuming a piece is missing because you can't guarantee that they're playing Staryu or Starmie. So it either tells me it's a suboptimal list or something is prized.
Yeah. And a lot of people run Bricklet Hill and don't even run the Staryu Starmie line. Like you said, it's it's good just to bring those Volcanion EX out once per turn if you can't get the Ultra Ball, or I know Volcanion lists run Nest Ball too. But yeah, I unfortunately had the Staryu Starmie line in this deck, and it just was one of them was prized at the time, which was unfortunate for me. But my goal right now is to try to either get Turtonator up there and Shell Trap. I think Shell Trap is just an awesome move. That's actually the one attack that helps me in my Gardevoir matchups, because sometimes when you're not able to steam up enough to one-shot the Gardevoir, which takes a lot, especially even with without a Fury Belt on, because tool removal is so hot in these lists now. So using Shell Trap, you're able to hit your opponent with 80 damage after they do any Pokemon that does damage to you after you use Shell Trap, which is fantastic. That puts Gardevoir down to 1500. That's a Volcanic Heat plus 1 Steam Up, which is very simple for Volcanion to hit. So I think Turtonator and Volcanion really did amplify this deck. Like, made it just amazing. I thought when Volcanion first came out and when Steam Siege rolled out Volcanion, I was just like, man, how is this deck not going to be good? I ran it immediately. First little local tournament, I ran Volcanion and won with it. I was like, dude, this is amazing. How is this deck not going to be the best deck out there? Of course, regionals, it kind of showed me that Garbodor EX with the Despair Ray kind of tore me apart. But I just didn't expect that deck at that time. I was still new to Pokemon. I didn't really know anything about that deck, so I didn't really know how to play that matchup. But with Turtonator, though, it's just, I think the cards almost makes Volcanion like broken, like in my own opinion, just because of that Shell Trap, that Nitro Tank. If you get the energy on there, I mean, his one base attack, I can't even remember, but it does, what, 160? And you just card 2 energy, but you can easily filter those energy back. I mean...
Which Pokemon is
that? Turtonator.
Yeah. So, Bright Flame.
Bright Flame, that's right, yes.
That's 160, discard 2.
Yeah.
There's nothing... Like, if you have the Shell Trap, that's also, like, not a bad thing. Like, Shell Trapping is an amazing attack that will...
Especially when you can steam up a Shell Trap.
Exactly. So, like, Shell Trap, if you feel like... When you're in the matchup and you feel like, man, I have to Shell Trap, don't think of it that way. You're like, yeah, I get to Shell Trap. I get to make them have to waste resources to get out of the active to attack something else.
Yep.
So there is nothing wrong with doing a Shell Trap. I know a few players I've met before, they never want to do Shell Trap for some reason. They want to use a different attack or something because they're like, oh, it's just only for 20. No, it's going to do a whole lot more because now your opponent has to think of a different way to go about it. Because no one's not going to swing into a Turtonator without a knockout on a Shell Trap turn.
Yeah. So my situation right now in this matchup is my Ho-Oh is my active and I haven't found a way to retreat it yet. And what really sucks is Koko hits Ho-Oh for weakness. Ho-Oh is not like other fire-type Pokemon that was weak to water. It's actually weak to electric type. So when Tapu Koko, does the attack that spreads damage, God, I'm just forgetting everything. Ho-Oh actually takes double, which is unfortunate for me. So it will take a couple more turns for him to eventually just knock out the Ho-Oh with such a high HP at 190. But I really need to get that Ho-Oh out of there and either start Shell Trapping or possibly hitting with Turtonator's Bright Flame attack. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now is just getting myself out of this situation.
Yeah, Koko is very strong against Ho-Oh for sure. Koko is my main strategy, actually, moving to a different deck with Golisopod. When I use Koko spreads and I'm up against a Ho-Oh, Volcanion, or a anything that plays a Ho-Oh, a Choice Bandit Koko can actually two-shot a non-Fury Belted Ho-Oh. So that is a very good strategy to get that Ho-Oh in the active and just start swinging with its spread attack that I'm forgetting the name of for a second.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it too. We'll just say the spread attack.
That spread attack.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Tapu Koko.
Flying Foot.
A lot of decks. Yeah,
Flying Foot.
There it is. Tapu Koko, I think most decks out there at least have to tech one of them in their deck list. Volcanion doesn't really work. That's why you don't really see it much in Volcanion. Just because Volcanion is already a heavy hitter anyways. But Ho-Oh really is a game changer for a lot of decks just because of that ability to hit every Pokemon. No matter what, it's hitting everybody. So you already put your opponent at a disadvantage because, like, man, I got damage everywhere. And I mean, there is like Metagross kind of hurts because of the Max Potion that most Metagross decks run into. But overall, Koko, almost 90% of every standard deck should at least run one Koko. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm working on a future deck list with the Shining Legends format stuff with Zoroark, and of course I'm throwing Koko in there because I just want that damage spread. I just love it. Yeah,
Koko is splashable in any deck that plays DC. If you don't play a Koko in a DC deck, I'm going to question your deck building abilities, of course. Now, we see Jeff use a Brigette for 1, which is a very interesting thing to have to do. So Jeff is obviously dead drawing at this moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what it seems like because it went from me being in a bad situation to him. I think I was able to Guzma last turn, which actually really, really helped me. Mm-hmm. And I chose to get rid of the Trubbish because right now he didn't have a Drampa out there. And my only threat out there was him getting a Garbodor. And if he got the Garbodor with me already using Max Elixirs and items, I really didn't want him swinging hard. But I didn't have, I think I only had like 4 items at the time in my discard pile. I wasn't really burning through a lot of them. I kind of, when you play against Garbodor when it was a hot deck for so long, you kind of learn to rely on not having to use your items as much. So I kind of learned the play style just to not burn through items, pace myself, because man, Garbodor is still a very good card in standard format. I mean, it's still going to be, I think it'll be top tier for a long time just because decks rely so much on trainers. But my goal was actually to pull up that one of the Trubbish, start hitting damage on it. The Shell Trap worked. Now no matter what, I could Shell Trap again, knock out this Garbodor, and be ready to hit any of his Pokemon with that Shell Trap ability of 80. So I wanted to just put myself in that situation where I kind of stay ahead. Drampa really doesn't threaten me much. With him dead drawing and not able to put the energy on Drampa, I'm still pretty, safe. So I just got to make sure I don't put damage on his bench, because then Drampa is just going to go stupid on me.
Yeah, with Turner and that active spot and our Shell Trap knocking out that Garbodor right there, it's putting Jeff in a bad spot, because now he needs a Pull Town and a Garbodor to even have a chance at attacking with Drampa. But then he has to attach 2 energies to Drampa to even do that. So he's behind at least a turn or 2 at this point. So he's in a rough spot. He promotes that Tapu Lele GX with a Floatstone attached to it, just so that he has time to think out his next plan. You see him shuffling his hand, so he's obviously going through some sort of thinking. He does have that Choice Band in his hand, which I don't know how long that's been in his hand, but I don't know if he realized he could Choice Band it and attack that Ho-Ho for more damage. But
I think he just had it though. I think he was
it was on the top of his hand, so might have just drew it. It looks like he's Tapu Koko spreads. Flying Flips, I don't know why that is so hard to remember.
Flying Flip, yeah.
I say it like every day in my life, but now I just forget it when we're commentating a video.
Yeah. Flying Flip really doesn't affect me much on the Volcanion side, because everybody's HP is just so high, so he's really going to have to swing those Flying Flips. It does affect in the future when you're able to promote my Volcanions with either Guzma and then easily knock him out, where you don't have to rely on Drampa possibly having damage or anything like that. So eventually it's going to start hitting me if I just let him keep Flying Flip the whole time. But with my high HP, I'm not really freaking out about anybody being a knockout. I remember playing in this game, I was like, I'm going to let this Turtonator go into the end. I'm going to let him be knocked out. I'm just going to try to Shell Trap as much as I can until he's down to 2 prizes. And then if it's still not knocked out, I was just going to Bright Flame for the win. That was the strategy here, because I'm already ahead. So
I did make one mistake when I was introducing Jeff's deck earlier. He doesn't play an Espeon GX, but he does play the EX for de-evolving his opponent's Pokemon to take easy knockouts. So that's going to be the best way to deal with Gardevoir, in a sense. So when he goes up against a Gardevoir, all these Pokemon are cheated in with rare candy, he's just going to go ahead and de-evolve them. He maybe got some Koko spreads off. He might take a lot of knockouts on Ralts. So that's always a good strategy. Always a good thing to find a spot for one of those Espeon EXs in your deck if you're playing Drampa Garb Espeon variants.
And when people do play Gardevoir and they are very, I say, greedy with the rare candies, you also notice that sometimes they'll just go ahead and discard the Curlius.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I'm already here. And then when you hit that Espeon, they're like, oh, no. Like, I am out of luck. Gardevoir, in my opinion, right now, is probably the best deck in the standard format. But it is still very beatable. There's ways around it. Especially if a lot of people misplay it. But I notice a lot of new players to Pokemon start out with Gardevoir. New people come from other games to play it. So, yeah, basically that's the deck to beat right now in the standard format. I think Volcanion has an alright matchup against it. Drampa Garb definitely, I think, has a good matchup against it as well, especially with Jeff's tech with the Espeon EX and the Koko just swinging damage. That's a really good matchup for him as well.
Yeah, that Gardevoir, Drampa Garbodor, I can't think of Pokemon names. That matchup is fairly 50-50. I do think I will disagree and say that Gardevoir has a slight favor in that matchup, just because of all the different ways they can get around not having Gardevoir in the active. So Glade I think Drampa's weak to fighting, so that's a one-shot with Delayed, Premonition, Twilight GX. There's a lot of ways for Gardevoir to just deny prizes to this deck that Jeff plays, Garbodor Drampa. So, like, I think there's just a slight favor there. If you have two very, very competent players of their decks, it's going to be a fairly 50-50 matchup.
Yeah.
But,
that Delayed really does make that deck crazy good, though. I realized that when I was running Ninetales. And, you know, with a Baby Alola and Ninetales, you have protection. I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and just play those and not have to worry about Garbodor GX at all and just win this game slowly. And then Gallade comes along. And Gallade can pretty much one-shot all... Yeah, it does one-shot all the Baby Alola and Ninetales with a DCE, and you got to play Supporter, which almost everybody plays a Supporter every turn. And it's crazy. And then the Premonition ability is dumb too, and it's
Guardy just has so much going for it. Like Guardy, literally, Guardy just got everything that I ever wanted.
Talk about being spoiled,
right? So it's like that spoiled rich kid in the anime. You just have to like show it where its place is eventually. Eventually. Right
now, it's top dog right now.
But there is decks that can give Gardevoir a hard time, like Golisopod only have to attach 1 energy to do 120. Tushan Guardies, Golisopod is, in my opinion, my favorite deck just because of its versatility.
I do believe Golisopod is a good deck, but with Volcanion still being a top tier deck, that's why you don't see as much Golisopod.
In all fairness,
but you do Tekken cards. Hold on, because I can't say much because.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, at a recent local tournament, not a lot of people run just Golisopod. They'll tech in like I played against a Zoroark, stand-in Zoroark Golisopod deck, and that actually put me to my limit and beat me. And I was running Volcanion, and I was like, that was supposed to be a matchup I was supposed to easily win, but you can tech anything in with Golisopod. That's the good thing about the deck is you can really tech in another Pokemon lineup that's good against almost any matchup to help save you. So, but I still think Volcanion's a better deck.
Well, in fairness, yes, weakness is going to help you in the end. My variant of Golisopod, I play straight Golisopod, which is not a very popular variant. Golisopod Garb is probably your most popular variant, followed by Zoroark variants, and then there's probably the straight Golisopod players. I only know of like 3 or 4 personally that also play straight Golisopod. But recently, last week at League Cup, I did get top 8 with Golisopod, straight Golisopod, with no sort of answer to Volcanion. Like, it was just pretty much an auto loss. And I actually did beat a Volcanion in round 5, I believe. So I beat a Volcanion, I was 4-1, I ID'd my last round, and I got into cut. So, like, it's not impossible. It's like 95-5 in Volcanion's favor.
I think also the speed of the Golisopod deck is what helps put you ahead of Volcanion. Because Volcanion, it can be fast if you get what you need with the max elixirs and everything. But Golisopod, like, turn 2, you're ready to go on anything. It's pretty simple, especially with Wimpod's ability, too. That's kind of nice.
And I'll explain more on the Golisopod side of things on the next video.
Yeah, on the next video.
Let's get back to this match and see what's going on because we're just having all these sidebars. It looks like Jeff has hit another Shell Trap because that Koko has 8 damage on it. So Jeff is not afraid of this Shell Trap. He's just going to smack into it anytime he wants because he's not going to get knocked out. Jeff isn't going to let Jason have prizes if he can prevent it. But Jeff is still in a bad way here with any sort of setup going. Jason has everything he ever needed to get going. Just a lot of damage on his board. A little scary here. There is no Ace of Roll in Jason's deck.
No, none at all.
So there's no out to that. So that damage is getting a little scary if Jeff can get any sort of setup going here. Even if he gets a DCE on Lele and Energy Drives, that would not be a bad thing right now.
Yeah. And also, if in the situation I'm in, is if Jeff has a way to knock out my Turtonator and not... Because that was what I was worried about. I was like, man, if he really pulls like a Guzma off and pulls up my Turtonator and knocks it out, if you look at my board, I have no way of retrieving energy. None at all. And I can only promote my Volcanion EX, and I don't run Ranger, so I would have to rely on slow attachments, because I think I already burned through most of my max elixirs. So it'd be slow energy attachments, and it gives him time to get back into where he needs in the matchup. So that was my main concern, because like, man, I really will need to Nitro Tank eventually, because. But also, I think I was very limited on the energy I had in my discard pile as well. I don't think I was really doing a bunch of steam ups either. I think I was like saving my energy. If you notice, I put my hand down face up, so you do see an energy card there.
Pro Plays by Jason McKinney.
Actually, I think, yeah, that's my hand. So I was actually saving my energy cards, because what I wanted him to do eventually was pull up the Drampa and me to have enough to one-shot it with a steam up. So that's what I was looking for. The only thing is I really need Turtonator to survive. So right now I believe I did an Ultra Ball.
Yeah, Ultra Ball, discard an Ultra Ball, and then you're looking for something. We have not yet seen what you're looking for. You put your hand face down, which was good. So
I think I was either looking to see if I had a Lele, because I wanted the Guzma, the Drampa, because I was just going to promote Turtonator and hit the... actually, I went for the Staryu.
So you must have priced the Starmie.
Oh,
no,
nope,
never mind.
Baby Volcanion. Maybe I was out of Lele's as well. I'm not sure. Or I had the Lele in hand. Nope. I do Brooklet Hill. So
oh, you did both. Okay.
I did the Ultra Ball and the Brooklet Hill. That's what the Staryu was for. I believe I did have Starmie in hand finally.
That's good. Yeah, you drew out the prizes. Yeah, at this point it's 6-3, I believe. No prizes take on Jeff's end. He really needs to get some sort of setup going. He still doesn't have damage on his board. This Koko's probably going to be taking a good nap here in a second. So
because all it requires is either I can hard retreat or steam up for the knockout. I think on this one, actually, I was thinking about attaching the energy to Baby Volcanion, hard retreating the Volcanion EX, and then start using Volcanic Heat to kind of get others set up. I believe that was my thought process on this one. I thought that would put me in a good position, because hitting for 30 would be knockout on the Koko.
That would have been spicy.
And then the Drampa, even if it's able to knock out Baby, he only takes out one prize card, and I'm able to promote my Turtonator and hit for the knockout on the Drampa.
But Jeff looks like he's just in a bad way here. He's slowly running out of resources, if you can see the stack on his discard pile there. It's looking like a tough matchup here, no doubt. Jeff has definitely had a bad string of luck with draws and whatnot. Jason's been able to consistently have answers for what Jeff is even able to set up. So this matchup seems to be pretty much a shoe-in at this point for me.
And I'm actually very fortunate for Jeff's slow matchup, because most of the time Drampa Garb or anything Garbodor isn't really a good matchup for Volcanion, just because of the items resources you really do need to get Volcanion going. So I was actually very fortunate. So, but instead I promoted Turtonator. I think this is where... Actually, I just Shell Trap for the knockout.
Which is even a
I would
say,
move, yeah.
I would say that would be even better.
Because now I have my energy resource if I need Baby Volcanion to help attach stuff.
And a Steam Up and a Bright Frame right now wins him the game, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think that will be the move that you most likely had performed. I
believe I have Guzma in hand as well. So
yeah, so this match is pretty much...
Because he's just going to...
Is he going Berserk? Oh, he's going Berserk for the knockout.
He can't Berserk for the knockout because there's no damage on the board. Oh, he was able to.
Yeah, because you had so much damage on you there, buddy. You had 160.
Well, thank God Staryu has free retreat. So let me figure out my setup here. So all I really need is a 2-prize knockout. So...
and to be honest here, this matchup went from like, oh, he's definitely got this, to, oh, wait, there's more.
But thank God Drampa took
80
damage. So all I need is 100. So all I need is like really either Steam Artillery for the win. So I think that's what I was looking for here. I don't think I burned every Max Elixir, or I was trying to look for the Steam Ups to get the win. I think I had the Sycamore in hand, and that was what I was going to do, because 2 Steam Ups and a... Ah, man, I already can't even remember what the situation was. I know I had the Steam Ups.
Yeah, he had all those energies in your hand. You had all those energies in your hand.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out if I wanted to just get the Steam Artillery ready to go, or try to knock him out with...
I think the best plan in this situation would actually just attach this energy since Steam Artillery. But it looks like he might be going for Power Heater.
Yeah. So actually, I think
Space Beacon.
Yeah, what I do is I Brooklet Hill for the Volcanion EX.
Oh, and then you steam up 3 times.
Yeah, I believe that was the other strategy. So luckily, I saved all those energies for the match I was playing. Very conservative on the energy. But that's what it would be. It would be 3 steam ups because of the Staryu ability. And it would end up hitting for 110. That'd be knockout on Garb. So that's the GG in this matchup. So once again, thank you for watching. And if you guys want to have any questions, just leave a comment and make sure to like and subscribe.